And just like that, it is football time in Texas. More importantly, it is marching band time in the state of Texas. If you can't guess what this show is going to be about, then I do a really bad job at Photoshop. Talking about etiquette in the stands. Put some class in your clear bag for once. It's going to get a little real. I hope I don't curse in this one, but hey, you never know. For the 11th or 12th time in 2019, good morning again. Daniel Valdez again. It is a pleasure to talk to you on this 1,004 degree weather day. We're all sick of the heat. We're tired of it. It's time to get some marching band done. Thank you so much for listening. Whether you're on the YouTube channel or whether you're listening through Apple Podcasts, I don't care which one you listen to. Just for the love of everything that is holy, please pay attention to me. Stadium etiquette. So, football games start up. This is being recorded on a Thursday morning. And want to talk a little bit about stadium etiquette, about how to behave in the stands. This is mainly for band boosters, band parents, but of course this applies to students as well. I think I'm just going to do one of these every single year, just as a reminder, a public service announcement from me to you. So let's just get started on that. I have been going to marching band contests as a fan, blogger, whatever, for many, many, many years. To say that I've seen almost every negative incident in the stands is pretty accurate. I've never seen anybody actually punch somebody, but it's come close. So let's avoid that. Let's, and I know some of you are going to hear this for the millionth time this year, let's choose positivity. I just heard everybody's ears perk up, especially you sassy folks. Let's talk about stadium etiquette. Let's talk about behaving in the stands and how you can be a good, how you can support your program, but not be a complete jerk about it. So let's go over that. Just a couple of tips and tricks to help you out. Obviously, be respectful of other programs is number one on the list. But what does it? I'm sure that you guys go over that in band booster meetings, and it's talked about in the classroom. But what exactly does be respectful mean? Well, it's very simple. Golden rule: treat others the way you would you treat others the way you would want to be treated. Same thing with the marching band programs. If you're sitting in the stands and you're really not that interested, don't distract other people from watching the show, whether their program is on or not. There are plenty of people that show up to these things that have had sons or daughters that have graduated, and they're there to support their former program, but at the same time they're there to, enjoy some great art on the field. So don't be distracting. Don't talk during the performances. Don't, just don't be a jerk about that sort of stuff. You never know who is there for what reason. So obviously, if you're talking through somebody else's performance, that ain't cool, and then you're looking around, and then you want everybody to shut up during your kid's performance or your program's performance. It doesn't work that way. It is a two-way street. It is a give and take of respect when it comes to when the programs are on the field. Furthermore, if you're going to wear the shirt, if you're going to hold up the sign, and if you're going to wave the flag, understand that those things are not free. There is an agreement that is made whenever you do one of those things, whenever you support a program. You are now a representative of that program, whether you want to be or not. Whether you're just going to be there for that program and then you're going to go to Bush's Chicken to get some Bush's Chicken tender rolls. Can't wait for those in a couple of weeks. Had to get that plug in. There's an agreement that is made. You represent the program. It does not matter how interested or disinterested you are in your kids' or other people's kids' programs. You represent the program. So if you say something snide during a show, if you act like an idiot in the stands and don't know how to behave, that is reflective on the school you're representing, it is also reflective on your children. And I think people forget that sometimes. It ain't about you. It is about those kids on the field that have been at practice risking heat stroke for the last month and a half. Or last month, I should say. Or whenever. Understand that. If you're that disinterested and you can't hold it together, and you're sitting there, you're shaking in your seat and you're sweating because you just can't be a decent person in the stands, I urge you to go to the concession stand and eat a ton of food. Oh man, I've seen it happen before. I've had parents, as me blogging the event, I have had parents, and I won't say from what school, I have had parents turn to me and tell me that and give snide comments to me in the stands because they thought I was cheering too loud. Now, keep in mind, I have my TexasFans.com shirt on. I cheer for everybody. I don't care where you're from. I don't care who wrote your drill. I cheer for everybody. Everybody on staff feels the exact same way. I actually had parents in the past tell me that I was cheering too loud. Well, gee, I'm sorry, when a guard member tosses an 8 in the air and then catches it backwards between their legs, I think they've earned a little bit of applause at that point. Yes, that has happened before. And I felt really sorry for those people. And talking about cheering, I'm glad there was like a third point I wanted to make. Folks, this is not football. It's on a football field, it's in a football stadium, but this is not football. Here's what I mean by that. It is okay to cheer for other people's programs. I can't tell you countless times I've seen somebody from another program cheer on another program, and then their friends, the people that are representing their program, turn around and look at them like, hey, what are you doing? You're cheering for the other team. You're not supposed to do that. First of all, band booster organizations, if you're not teaching your parents to support other programs, you're doing it wrong. You're doing a disservice to the entire activity. This is not football in the sense that this is not like cheering for the other football team. This is a subjective format. This is a subjective contest, which means in rare occasions, you kind of know who's winning the contest. But most of the time, you don't. So, there's nothing wrong with cheering for other people's programs. That used to be a big problem 15 years ago. It did. People would sit on their hands. People would sit on their hands. People would be completely silent or not even pay attention to the other programs, especially during state contests. And then when their programs go on, they go crazy or whatever, and then that would be it. I think there's more of a communal support of other people's programs, especially if they're in the same district. And it goes on, there's layers beyond that. Support your people in the district, and then if you're going to Grand Nationals with a certain program, there's going to be a lot of love there, and I can't wait to see that stuff. That's not really a problem now, but I think it still needs to be emphasized. Totally okay to cheer for other people's programs. If you're telling people to not do that, you're hurting the activity. And plus, you're missing out on some great performances. That's why I love going to these contests, because you get to see so many different styles. You get to see so many different programs from across the state and across the country. It's such a neat experience. So, I guess my big point is, don't ruin it just because you have a certain agenda on your mind. Don't ruin it for other people. It's real easy to not be a jerk. I'm kind of an optimist when it comes to that. I think it's really easy to behave yourselves in the stands. You just have to choose to do it. And when there's competition and you see other programs and you're thinking, oh, was that better than my kid's program? Was that better than this program? When you start, and then you delve into further, when you're talking about numbers and you're talking about placements and stuff like that, it's very easy to get carried away. It's very easy to go, well, I better not cheer for this program because they might hear me and then they might do better and then they might beat my kid's program. No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. This is art. You appreciate art. You value art in a non-monetary way. This stuff needs to be appreciated. And this stuff has to be championed. And every time you do something to cheapen the value of the activity, whether you're ruining the time by talking during another person's program, or you're, you're taking a phone call during another person's program. Yes, I've seen people as recent as last year. I've seen people take phone calls during shows. And from what I've heard, from what I heard of those phone calls, those were not emergencies. So it seems pretty obvious to silence your phone and not talk on the phone during a contest, but you would be surprised how many people do it. And what's funny is, if somebody took a phone call during their performance, they would freak out. Why is it cool for you to do that, but not cool for somebody else? Check your ego at the gate. Check your ego at the gate. Everybody's there for the same reason. We want to see some good marching band. Don't ruin it for other people. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And enjoy the activity. It's really that simple. You just have to choose to do it. I think I'm done here. Just a quick, like I said, I think I've done this. I think I did one of these 2 years ago. I don't remember if I did one of these last year, but this is just one of those things that, people do kind of request it, just as a little primer, just to be like, hey, this is how you act in the stands. And these are just tips and tricks. If you come up with some stuff on your own, I'd love to hear it. I think I'm done here. Thank you all so much for listening. Remember, TexasBands.com on the Facebook page. I want you to remember something. This is very important. If you're still listening, good on you. Live.txbands.com. That time is coming. Live.txbands.com. For those of you that have followed us, our many, many followers for many, many years, you know exactly what that means. Remember that website, live.txbands.com. It's coming sooner than you think. I plan on having some announcements very, 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 very soon. Follow me on Instagram at danpodvaldez. You can follow the TexasBands.com Facebook page. Please keep in touch with us. Questions, comments, everything, come follow us. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll talk to you all next week with some other goofy, crazy marching band stuff. Thank you all so much for listening. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.